Group of scientists are trying to find the subscribe button. Can you help them? 16 hippo encounters that ended up failing notoriously.
In Delhi Zoo, this nail-biting video shows a hippopotamus attempting to escape its enclosure as onlookers watch in sheer horror.
कहाँ तक आ गया? ये तो बाहर आ गया है.
After catching wind of what is happening, one of the zoo's staff calms the onlookers and attempts to contain the situation by doing this.
ये तो बहुत डेंजरस है यार.
Fed up with the assault, the massive hippo decides to fight back and so takes matters into its own mouth. In the end, the hippopotamus surrenders and retreats into its enclosure. In Central Africa, two unlucky men got to see the local wildlife a little closer than they would have liked. In the beginning, nothing seems out of the ordinary as they seem to be casually drifting down the river while enjoying the beautiful scenery. Just as they start turning the corner, though, two hippo heads can be seen poking out of the water in the distance. What happens next is not what they expected. The men begin yelling at the animal while they quickly work to get their boat back to land in an attempt to save their lives. Once the two men make it back to safety, they hide quietly in the tall grass as the hippo thankfully makes its retreat. On a river in Tanzania, two unsuspecting men went out on a seemingly normal fishing trip when the unthinkable happened. At first, the fishermen appear to be casually going down the river when a hippo can be seen suspiciously poking its head out of the water in the distance.
Chirping too much.
Unfortunately, they fail to acknowledge it and go on with their activities like normal when this happens.
Okay, you made your choice.
Move down or right there.
Oops.
After firing a few shots in the water, they order the boat driver to get back on the engine and proceed to leave the area while they still can. We're on a peaceful, organized tour in Botswana when they encountered someone who wasn't too happy about having its picture taken. Luckily, the angry hippo wasn't fast enough to catch up to their tour bus, but it still successfully managed to chase them away from its territory. South Africa, these men had their enjoyable safari ride take a truly unpredictable turn when they got charged by a furious hippo. Before anything, they begin recording when they notice the curious animal slowly approaching their car from the road behind them.
Ek dink daai
Vlak
pyn
bietjie Isak.
kyk of ons hom hier kan in. Hou maar net in eerste hoor.
Sal jy sê as jy kan ry?
Not expecting much to go wrong, they attempt to continue their unusual observation while they have the chance, when things very suddenly go south.
Kom maar bietjie.
Luckily for them, they gain sufficient speed where the animal gives up on the chase and they continue driving away altogether. Right off the bat, an enormous hippo can already be seen charging towards the tourists at the beginning of this shocking encounter. Naturally, the driver starts to speed away, hoping to escape the animal in time and ensure the safety of his passengers. Too bad for them, hippos can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour in a snap, which leads to this happening. After the charge, the animal quickly flees in the opposite direction as the tourists process what just happened.
Wow. Alex, all right?
It's probably safe to say that the tourists learned a very valuable lesson that, in Africa, a group of friends went out on an exciting fishing adventure when they unfortunately ended up being stalked by a relentless hippo. For most of the day, things seem to be going well as they spend their time successfully fishing around the lake, all while recording their every move. At some point, though, they notice a sneaky hippo in the distance, staring them down.
Scott, just wait until that hippo goes away. Hannah, I'll cast on your head.
Ah, this thing is smart. It knows it.
Boy, if this thing comes for us, it's over.
After doing their best to ignore the animal and continue fishing, they eventually begin to feel unsafe and decide to move to a different spot of the lake. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't take very long before their stalker shows up once again.
I'll cast on their head and scare them away. Hannah, Saga. Hey, look.
Oh!
Wait. It won't come.
Let's go before they come up blocking. Exactly.
Okay, let's go up that other funny river then.
A few minutes go by when they eventually decide that they won't be risking their safety any longer and thankfully proceed to drive away from the area entirely. While peacefully boating around in Kenya, a group of innocent tourists ended up being the unfortunate target of a huge and aggressive hippo. In the beginning, they start recording after spotting a few hippos poking their heads out of the water to their right.
That one's got like a suspicious look, doesn't he?
Exactly.
What exactly are you people up to?
Out of nowhere, one of the animals suddenly becomes territorial and decides to begin charging right for their boats.
I'm gonna turn around to face us too, keeping an eye. That's a bit... Who's coming for us? Holy sh**.
With the tension quickly rising, the boat operator keeps speeding up in hopes of losing the approaching beast.
Oh my god. Look at him go.
Finally, the hippo decides to leave them alone, and they simply drive away for good. Walking around in the African wilderness, this Russian tourist came across a huge hippo and suddenly decided to run after it.
Сейчас будем бежать за бегемотом.
Surprisingly, the animal immediately runs in fear as the brave man keeps chasing it down. Feeling satisfied with what he's done, he simply turns around and goes back to minding his own business. Okavango Delta. Ed Stafford from the Discovery Channel had an absolutely jaw-dropping encounter with a hippo that decided to invade his campsite. The clip immediately starts off as the man can be seen hiding behind a tree, hoping that the enormous beast doesn't notice him. Fearing for his life, he proceeds to flee up a tree in the middle of his camp, staying safely out of reach while he allows the intrusive animal to roam nearby.
You see all the scratches on its back? Crikey, I just shot straight up this tree. Unbelievable. falling into the water.
Stafford waits for the hippo to walk back into the river before finally descending from the tree and continuing his show as originally planned. Through the waters of Africa took a frightening turn when these friends were suddenly pursued by a territorial hippo. Initially, the driver begins slowing down the boat in order to allow the passengers to observe the two hippos they had just spotted in the distance. Nothing seems too alarming at first, until one of the men suddenly notices that they are now being chased down by one of the animals.
It's coming here. Oh my god. We are being chased by the hippo.
The driver, luckily recognizing the danger of the situation, begins to speed away to save his friends from the quickly approaching hippo.
My friend, don't be on the phone.
After a few rather stressful minutes, the hippo finally decides to spare them and just disappears back under. One was on vacation at Serengeti National Park in Tanzania when a large and dangerous visitor entered his camp at an inconvenient moment. The video starts off rather normally as the tourist grabs a few shots of the nearby hippo pool where nothing too alarming can be seen. However, things very quickly take an unexpected turn when one of the animals decides to come get a closer look at the man's campsite. Obviously not wanting a physical confrontation with the beast, the man sticks to hiding in the back of the tent, all the while making the least amount of noise possible. Eventually, though, the animal seems to lose interest and just turns around to walk back towards the river. The river of Mozambique, a fun kayaking expedition quickly turned into a real-life nightmare when these tourists got attacked by a territorial hippo. Originally, everything seems to be going according to plan, until the man recording suddenly hears something storming through the bushes to his left.
Babe, Hippo. Big Hippo. That was Hippo for sure, yeah. He just came charging. He was feeding.
After all grouping back together just in case, they eventually decide to keep going with their expedition as originally planned when something downright horrifying happens.
Just watch, because he charged down this channel there. Just as I said, watch, he's come down this channel.
Now, seriously concerned about their safety, they finally decide to cut their expedition short and call it a day completely. Senegal, a canoe tour took a truly horrifying turn when a territorial hippo decided that it would defend its territory against these poor tourists. The clip starts off showing the two canoes calmly paddling down the river, but things sadly don't remain peaceful for much longer. Having startled the territorial animal, the canoers proceed to carefully make their way to shore and climb onto the rocks in hopes of evading the animal's threat.
Should be alright. It's only one big hippo after all.
Get the horn.
For the following minutes, the whole group of tourists remains on the edge of the river as they observe the hippo intimidatingly staring at them from up ahead. Eventually, though, the animal finally submerges itself back underwater, and the tourists decide to call it a day. did not appear like aggressive animals to you before. They sure will after this video. Published more than 4 years ago, this video initiates with the inside of a boat as a family is seen cruising the river while chatting with each other.
I'm making a video about the deadly hippos.
Ada ibis, just this one's here.
As minutes go by, absolutely nothing happens, and there is no sign of danger in sight. However, as the video is about to approach its end, a gigantic black hippo comes out of nowhere and does this.
So,
Fortunately, the boat is able to speed away before the beast could inflict any damage. Still, the hippo can appear like a fairly tame beast in comparison to other predators, but this short clip goes a long way in depicting its aggression. Uploaded in December of 2020, this terrifying recording shows a wild hippo fake charging at a car after noticing these people staring at it. Understandably, the car can be seen speeding away after the hippo asserts its dominance. I wonder what would have happened had the vehicle been moving at a slower speed.